Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Nino Brown Boxing and back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So this weekend, we have that Shawn Porter Danny Garcia fight coming up for that WBC title, WBC welterweight title. The title that every guy seems to want in that weight class. You know, the title that Floyd Mayweather held on numerous occasions, the title that Keith Thurman had to, what he would call, he vacated, but the man got stripped, you know. That belt, the green belt, is up for grabs this weekend in the welterweight division. Now, I've already made a video of how I think the fight will go. Now I need to talk about what I believe is the more important part, and that's the aftermath. Now, we all know that aftermath of this fight definitely involves my favorite fighter in boxing, Errol Spence Jr., and will the winner, put it like this, first thing first, to my understanding, Errol Spence is going to the fight. Now, hopefully, a lot of the bullshit can be simply avoided if Errol Spence is allowed to get in the ring. Now, based out of Kenny Porter's own mouth, he said it on Dante's Boxing Nation this past week. He said, fighters can't just gut up and get in the ring. They have to be allowed in the ring in order to get past security. My thing with this is, I know for a fact that Errol Spence would love to get in the ring after this fight. Now, with me putting my prediction out there that Shawn Porter is going to defeat Danny Garcia, I'm just going to go off of this hypothetical situation. Put it like this. If Errol Spence doesn't get in the ring, I'm going to automatically assume he wasn't allowed to get in the ring, or he wasn't given the permission to get in the ring. And if Shawn Porter doesn't call out Errol Spence, plain and simple, saying, I'm the WBC champ, you're the IBF champ, I want you next, let's unify now. If those words don't come out of Shawn Porter's mouth, and if Errol Spence isn't allowed in the ring, it will be premature. It will be premature if I base it off that one night's actions, but taking into consideration everything that's gone on within the last year, then I necessarily can't call it premature. But basically my point is, he's ducking. Now, the only way possible, because Fred had mentioned this in one of his videos, so shout out to Fred from Barbershop Conversations. Fred mentioned if the winner, so let's say, assuming that Shawn Porter wins, if Shawn Porter doesn't fight Errol Spence, and if Errol Spence doesn't fight Shawn Porter, they're both ducking. I don't agree with that, because it's one situation where it's not a duck. Because if Errol Spence or Shawn Porter, either one of those guys, decide that they want to unify with Terrence Bud Crawford, it's no duck. I will give any welterweight champion a pass for unifying with Terrence Bud Crawford. That situation is not a duck. You would have to be crazy to categorize that as a duck on any level. Now, if that's not the case, you think we went hard leading up to this Danny Garcia fight, or we think Danny Garcia Shawn Porter fight, we think we went hard. See, okay, I want to get this point across, and it's something that's been collected in my brain. First thing first, when it comes to Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter, yes, they're in the same division, but I hold Shawn Porter to a higher standard. Me personally, the level of respect that I have for Shawn Porter is a lot higher than I have for Danny Garcia. I've always, prior to the Errol Spence situation, I've always viewed Shawn Porter, even when he lost to Kell Brook, even when he lost to Keith Thurman, I always viewed him as a man's man, as a guy that has no fear. He'll get in the ring with anyone. I didn't necessarily feel that way about Danny Garcia. See, when Danny Garcia, in my opinion, lost to Lamar Peterson, but he got the nod, and he didn't want to get Lamar Peterson a rematch, I knew deep down that Danny Garcia wasn't the type of, he didn't move like a fighter that I wanted like I would want a fighter to move. You know, a fighter that I'm a fan of, Danny Garcia didn't conduct himself in that manner. Prime example would be how Errol Spence is. He wants all the smoke in the world, and Danny Garcia, he comes in there damn near suited up to protect them of any germ, smoke, or inhalation, whatever thing possible. He wants no smoke. So basically, I hold Shawn Porter to a higher standard. So a lot of the times I fail to mention Danny Garcia in these equations, and it seems like I fail to hold Danny Garcia to the same expectations that I do Shawn Porter. I don't hold him to different expectations, but I expect Danny Garcia to bitch out at the end of the day. It just is what it is. Now, basically, I was saying, if you think we went hard on the Porters prior to this Garcia fight, if he doesn't make it clear as day after winning that WBC belt that he's going to fight Errol Spence next, unless he fights Bud Crawford, if they think we went hard on him then, they haven't seen anything yet. See, I've been busy and I have a lot of stuff going on. I haven't been dropping videos, but I feel the need to drop videos when I'm super excited about something or something in boxing has me pissed off. And Saturday night, September 8th, if the winner of this fight, who I'm assuming to be Shawn Porter, does not make it very clear that Errol Spence Jr. is next and they're going to unify, and if Errol Spence is not even allowed in the ring, because it can go a couple of ways. He cannot allow Errol Spence in the ring and he can say clear as day Errol Spence is next. He can allow Errol Spence in the ring and say, well, we'll just have to see what happens and all that bullshit. Or he can completely ignore the fact that Errol Spence is there and don't speak of Errol Spence and say some shit like, well, I have to talk to my dad. We have to go back to the drawing board and see what happens. I've been, if we get any of that bullshit, if they think we went hard on them before, I just got to keep reiterating the same thing. They haven't seen anything yet. Nino Brown Boxing, just like Ticket TV always says, shout out to Ticket TV. We're going to be on that helmet. And we're going to be on it hard, man, because I already know in this situation, I will be extremely pissed off. Errol Spence Jr. is my favorite fighter. He's conducting himself how I believe a boxer is supposed to conduct themselves. And if you got a guy that I'm assuming is going to win, so that's much respect to Shawn Porter. If he doesn't conduct himself in that same manner, we're going to have a problem. It's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.